On Christmas Eve, with only $15 folded inside her shaking hand, the poor girl walked into a small diner holding her sick mother's arm, praying no one would notice how close they were to breaking. She thought this would be the most humiliating meal of her life. What she didn't know was that a quiet single dad would walk in minutes later, and what he did next would leave the entire restaurant silent, and change her life forever. She counted the $15 3 times before opening the diner door, because if she was wrong even once, her mother would go hungry on Christmas Eve. The bell above the diner door rang softly as 19-year-old Lily stepped inside, helping her mother, Maria, whose body had grown weaker with every passing week. The warmth of the diner hit them instantly, fogging Lily's glasses and making her suddenly aware of how thin her coat was, how worn her shoes looked, and how empty her stomach felt. Christmas music played quietly in the background, cheerful and cruel at the same time. Lily guided her mother to the smallest table in the corner, the kind people rarely chose. Maria smiled gently, the way she always did, even when pain carved lines into her face. "You didn't have to do this," she whispered. "We could have eaten at home." Lily forced a smile, sliding into the seat across from her. "It's Christmas Eve, Mama. One real meal. That's all I want." What she didn't say was that the power had been shut off that morning, or that the last can of soup had been eaten the night before. The waitress came over, cheerful but busy. Lily picked up the menu, her eyes scanning prices faster than words. Her heart sank. Even the cheapest meal would push the limit. She ordered water for both of them, apologizing softly, then chose one plate of pancakes and asked for an extra plate to share. Her voice cracked when she said it. Maria reached across the table and squeezed her hand. "You're a good daughter," she said. Lily looked away quickly, afraid her tears would fall into the water glass. Around them, families laughed. Children waved candy canes. Couples talked about gifts and vacations. Lily felt invisible and exposed at the same time. She folded the $15 under her napkin, touching it every few seconds like it might disappear. When the food arrived, Lily insisted her mother eat first. Maria took small bites, savoring every one, while Lily pretended she wasn't hungry. Halfway through the meal, Lily noticed her mother coughing again, trying to hide it. Fear gripped her chest. Hospital bills, prescriptions, rent overdue, it all crushed down on her at once. That was when the diner door opened again. A man in his early 30s stepped inside, cold air following him like a shadow. He wore a worn jacket and carried himself with quiet exhaustion. Beside him walked a small boy, maybe 6 years old, holding his hand tightly. The boy's cheeks were red from the cold, his eyes curious and hopeful. They took a booth not far from Lily's table. Lily noticed the man glance around the diner, then at his son, then at the menu. The look on his face was painfully familiar, the look of someone calculating what they could afford without saying it out loud. The pancakes were gone now. Lily counted the money again under the table. $15. The bill would be close. Too close. When the waitress returned with the check, Lily's hands trembled as she opened it. She swallowed hard. She was $2 short. Her chest tightened. Her ears rang. She looked at her mother, then at the door, already imagining the humiliation, the apology, the promise to come back later. She stood up slowly, walking toward the counter, every step heavier than the last. She never saw the single dad stand up behind her. Just as Lily prepared to apologize for not having enough money on Christmas Eve, the single dad quietly spoke 5 words that stopped her heart. "Please put hers on me." Lily froze. She turned slowly, disbelief written across her face. The man stood there, his son holding onto his coat, eyes wide. The father gave a small nod, not dramatic, not loud, just certain. The waitress hesitated. "Sir, are you sure?" He reached into his wallet and placed a bill on the counter. "Yes, and there's 2, he added, nodding toward Lily's table. Lily rushed to shake her head. "No, I can't." The man smiled softly, tired but kind. "You already are," he said. "It's Christmas." Lily felt her legs weaken. Tears filled her eyes before she could stop them. Maria stood slowly from the table, placing a hand over her heart. "Sir," she said, voice trembling, "you don't know what this means to us." He looked at her, then at Lily. "I do," he replied quietly. "I've been there." The boy tugged on his father's sleeve. "Dad," he whispered, "is this like when people helped us?" The man knelt beside him. "Yes, buddy, exactly like that." The diner grew quiet. A few people wiped their eyes. Someone paid for another table. Someone else left extra cash. What started as one quiet act turned into something bigger than anyone expected. Lily returned to her seat, sobbing now, unable to stop. For the first time in months, the weight on her chest eased. Not because of money, but because someone had seen her. Truly seen her. After the meal, the man approached their table. "My name's Daniel," he said. "This is Noah." "I'm Lily," she replied. "Thank you, I'll never forget this." Daniel shook his head. "You don't owe me anything. Just keep going. You're stronger than you think." As he turned to leave, Lily called out, "Wait." She reached into her pocket and pulled out the folded $15. She hesitated, then handed it to him. "Please, for your son. For Christmas." Daniel looked at the money, then at Lily, eyes shining. He gently pushed it back. "Keep it," he said. "Tonight, it's yours." Years later, Lily would remember that night as the moment her life didn't break, but bent toward hope. She would finish school, her mother would recover, and every Christmas Eve, Lily would return to that same diner, leaving extra money for strangers she would never meet. Because on the night she thought she had nothing, a single dad proved to her that kindness is the richest thing anyone can give, and the one gift that never runs out.